Alright, it is 12:54 and I just got woken up by the security guard here at the Walmart parking center. He told me the Walmart closes at 11 and they don't want anybody here sleeping in the parking lot, which I've never heard a Walmart say that. But then he redirected me to the parking lot right across the way. He was like, well, the parking garage next door, you can go over there because they don't have any security over there and they don't care. So you can go over there. I was like, alright, cool, thank you, officer. Back to sleep now. Yeah, this McDonald's has a car in it. Better than a McDonald's Playhouse. And they have this awesome collection of cars too. McDonald's truck. Thunderbird, old Thunderbird. McDonald's truck. And check out their headrests. A little bit of research from the weird things that have happened to me this past week. It turns out the guy who was in the Montreal River the other day, he's been missing since March 9th. He was a pastor who disappeared on March 9th, and he was found by us, unfortunately, on Friday. And then about the subway thing, it looks like there was something that happened on the 15th at a different subway, and on the 17th at another subway, and then on the 26th at the one that looks like the one that I was at, it was on the 26th, but there's like 4 days before I was there, so it's kind of weird. Maybe it was a crime scene, but I didn't see like any ribbon or anything that like blocked off the area. I mean, I don't know, maybe it was a crime scene and I went in and accidentally tampered with it. I hope not. And this McDonald's has sprinklers. Man, this is an upscale place. The thing I do want to say is I'm pretty confident that I can say that people in Detroit have a lead foot. That is for sure. Because on the highway they zoom. The other thing is, it appears as if there's a lot of roadkill and people who are stuck on the side of the road because their cars are malfunctioning. And you guys should definitely go visit the visitor center on 211 West Fort West Street because they do tell you some pretty good stuff to do, and they give you 2 free tokens to ride the tram. That's the cool part. So unfortunately, the one place that I really wanted to go, the Piquet Museum, where the Model T, all that stuff, is closed today. They don't open until tomorrow at 10. But thanks to the visitor center, I have some other stuff to do, and then the History Museum of Detroit is actually free, and the lady there was very helpful. She even told me where to park for free. They have exhibits on like the railroads, the naming of the streets, the Underground Railroad, all kinds of cool stuff, so I'm definitely going to go back there. Old Detroit, guys, look at this. I'm at the Museum of Detroit, the history of Detroit. Oh, this is so cool. Democratic Free Press. Interesting. Get your Christmas cards. There's an auction and commission store, furniture warehouse, clothing emporium, fancy goods, old car, shop, the hotel, drugstore. Got these ancient games. Alright, I'm at my favorite place, the candy shop. I wish prices were still like this. Look at that. 5 cents for a quarter pound. Now it's like $6 for a pound. It's ridiculous. Man, I wish this was true too. Nothing over 10 cents in store. Old school toaster. Look at that thing. That's interesting. You had to flip it. Register. Like that. That's cool. This place is so cool and it's free. Look at all this they have going on. All the trains. And when you push the button, it makes... circus. Can you see Mickey right here? When I push this button, Mickey moves. Woo! The Lone Rangers radio show actually started here. It was actually the capital of airplanes for some time too. Sneaking booze into Detroit when they had Prohibition was a $200 million company. It was right behind automotive industry. Car assembly lines become military assembly lines. The Tigers and the Lions used to be really great teams. Wonder what happened to them. Detroit was just gaining their reins. The automotive industry was developing, people were getting jobs, and the business was booming. There was Prohibition, and so the illegal alcohol became the second biggest industry. We had gangs showing up, Tommies, all kinds of cool. These were some tough years because of the recession. There was lots of lost jobs, things like that. People were disappointed. But then with the war came, the automotive factories became military factories producing tons of weapons and stuff for the war. And people were getting their jobs back. And things were looking good for sports. People were being happy again. Whites were dominating the black areas. Lots of homes of the blacks were getting destroyed to be built with new highways, shopping malls, and other things. So lots of things were changing for them, unfortunately. Cars were becoming stylish now with larger, faster, stronger motors, more chrome, things like that. Again, sports were continuing to do well. They had jazz and a lot of public things being introduced, like the ferry. Then a recession has hit and people are struggling. The thing called Devil's Night, the ritual of burning houses on Halloween, has created a massive problem. One Halloween night, 800 houses were burned, and that was a problem. But then came back the automotive industry, reviving the city. Houses were being turned into artwork. All the sports teams were doing really, really well. And business was picking back up with cars. Buildings were going up, and jobs were coming back. Unemployment was going down. Things were looking good. After visiting some of Detroit, I would say it's continuing to look better and better for Detroit. Check out this car. It was way ahead of its time, but it's what shaped the rest of cars after that. These are some of the first trucks. Look at these guys. Delivery trucks. Look, they even have the double tankers. And then this is what a first chair looked like. And that's what the new chair looks like. So check out the assembly line. Bumper on. Chassis now. Car getting almost down. 4, 3, 2, 1. Booyah. Don't know if you guys got that all. It was so hard to upload that clip really quick so I could catch it in time. And of course the French were the first to come to Detroit, and they came for the same reason that they went to Canada, for the fur industry. And this is all Detroit was, up until after the British took over the French and then the Americans took over it. After it was this. After the epic fire that they had, they rebuilt everything and made it bigger and better, and then that's when the real boom started. It's unfortunate you can't see inside any of the theaters without actually going to a show or setting up a tour, which only happens like once a month. That up there is what I'm about to go ride. For free because of the tourist lady. She gave me 2 tokens. I'm here waiting for the People Mover, is what it's called, the tram that goes through Detroit here. I don't know why, but this excites me a lot too. There's a train coming. I believe that like a token costs like 75 cents or something like that, but once you have one, you get on and you get to stay on as long as you want. So you can go around and around and around and around and around as much as you want. But every time you get back on, you have to pay another 75 cents or token, whatever it costs. Here it comes! Oh, look at that, they're cool too. They have like interesting designs. I like this back one, look at that, that's cool. Dang it! I am now on the mover, and of course the mover moved. You saw that move in the very beginning. You saw that move in the very beginning where like I got jerked around? Yeah, guess what? And knocked off my GoPro. Gosh dang it. But I tell you, I don't think there's AC on this thing, because it's hot. Some fresh air. Get back in. But as you can see, there's like nobody on this train. Haha, I like this. It's cool. Yeah. I don't think this thing is operated by a driver. I think it's all remote control. Because I can do this. Woo-hoo!
The next station is Prix.
Yeah, that station's really close. Oh, picking up speed, picking up speed. Slowing back down. I don't get it. Whatever. Look, it's General Motors. I wonder if you can go in the office. I'm gonna try later. Oh, there we go, picking up speed. Oh, snap. It's so random, it's so random. And then we like slam on the brakes to stop. It's an interesting thing. But look at this, there's like nobody here. Nobody rides this thing. It's because it's the time of day, it's like 12:15, so maybe they take it in the morning and then at night to get to work and back home. As you can see, it's not for tall people. Look at this, I'm almost like at the roof here. And I'm not even that tall. My dad probably would not fit in here. And when it turns, you better hold on because this thing moves. There's the ferry. There's the bridge. Beautiful view. I'm pretty sure it's manned remotely because they call central control and not like the conductor. Ooh, going in the tunnel. Oh yeah, that's cool. Oh, it's really tight. Oh jeez. I'll tell you, the handling on this thing is not that great. Oh yes, it feels so much better out here. Oh. Just got off the people mover at the GM stop, so hopefully I can get in the GM building. It looks like I'm already in the GM building. Crazy. Right off the train I got in. I'm just not sure I'm supposed to have my bike in here. I don't know. It looks like in the GM Center, it's like an office building, like there's also like a CVS, Walgreens, Chase, all kinds of different stuff. But look what they have. They have like several circular locations where you can just like walk in circles and people are talking on the phone and stuff like that. So it's like a form of exercise while you work, I guess. This is so cool. Look at that. I like that idea too. And then of course they have to try to sell their cars. They have all of them like on display. That's pretty cool. Going down the escalator with a bike. It's so weird. Never done that before. They have everything in here. It's like a giant food court. It's like what's it called in DC? It's got like the terminal central thing and everything. So cool. The car thing really works though, because people really do look at them and get in them. It's a good marketing thing. Aerial view of Detroit.
That building is City County. It's in front of City County building.
Inside the GM building was check this out. This is just beautiful. Detroit is not all ugly. It has changed a lot in the years. Look at this beautiful view. Check out this conjunction between the two buildings. That is weird. Let me see if I can go up it. Check out this cool building. Now on a tour of the GM building. As you can see, there are the 5 pillars. And a beautiful view. Check this out. They have their own version of the Grand Prix over here in Detroit. And it's actually happening this weekend. That's pretty cool. It's just 2 miles up from here on the island. And right over there is Windsor, Canada. It's actually Canada. It's cool. More ship traffic here than in London and somewhere else combined, which is crazy. And we have our own, this is where the boat that delivers mail to the other boats out at sea. The Fisher logo that then became the model for their car design. Going to the top of the GM Tower. Oh yeah, man, you go so fast your ears pop. 72 floors? That's crazy.
Whew. Oh my gosh. Don't look down.
Looking down.
Ooh. Oh, there's Belle right there.
Wow. Could you see the whole?
Neat.
Just as it was in DC, this city was shaped just like the Champs-Élysées in Paris. You see the avenues that come straight out in the spoke form? Haha. And that is where they do the Grand Prix. At least the Detroit version.
Was the instrumental of Stevie Wonder, Signed, Sealed, Delivered. This one is a vocal of a lady of Detroit. She's now
Canada. My ears poppy in. Alright, so it looks like I'm going to be stuck here in Detroit for another day because the Rouge factory, which is where the Model T was made, is not open long. Tour supposedly takes like 2.5 hours, so there's not enough time in the day today, so I'm just going to go explore the island that's nearby and check out 2 more lighthouses. And then it's also great because then I get to see the Pickard plant, which is where the Model T was actually conceived, like the idea. And then hopefully tomorrow afternoon I'll spend the afternoon in Ann Arbor. There's not much to do, but I was told it's really pretty, nice to see, so I'm going to go there. And then after that, probably down to Toledo, I think. Right now, I'm going to go try to check out the the Detroit Grand Prix setup. Most of it's supposedly blocked off, so I probably won't be able to see it, but I just might as well try. Geese are not very scared of people. You can get all up close to them, and they just slowly walk away. I like that. Check out this beautiful view. Can you guess what city that is right there? How about on that side? Can you guess what that is? I'll give you a hint. Each place is in a different country. Man, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see any of the Grand Prix setup. You can see they have it all blocked off. Back there, they made me come on the other side. This, somehow, is a boat club. It doesn't look like it's clean enough to be a boat club. It's actually not bad in here, but coming up to it, it's pretty bad. This is cool. Yeah, check that out. That's so, like, ruined. It's not even, like, a cool, nice, pretty ancient ruin. It's just, like, falling apart. See? Detroit Boat Club. Probably as close as I'm going to get shipping and recon. Look at that. That's so cool. They call this place the White House. I have one of the old school time clocks. That's so cool. The White House is just an administrative office. Guess it makes sense since our White House is an administrative office. Of course, right now I'm standing in front of like the oldest aquarium here, and it's closed. It only opens on the weekends, and it's not even opening this weekend because of the Grand Prix. I gotta say, when you get to like New York State, Michigan, I guess maybe all of the Midwest, I don't know. When you get to that, a lot of stuff's closed on Monday and Tuesday. Oftentimes, like throughout the week, everything's closed until the weekend. I really don't get it. Some weird business practices. I don't know. Look, I can't see one strip though of the Grand Prix. That's about as close as I'm gonna get. Check out Miss Pepsi speedboat. I just drove by these 2 guys. They're playing with like 4 drones, 4 DJI drones, drinking beer, smoking joints. Ridiculous. I bet by the end of the night they have 0 drones left because they're all in the water. Just beautiful. Take a look at that. guy just caught a fish here on the island. Look at him. Still breathing out of the water. So this is Heidelberg Street. The street where they took all the old burned down houses and turned them into pieces of art. Here's just one of the many houses. A pile of shoes. Old cash register. Yeah, I like this. This one I think is my favorite. All the dogs on it. This feels more like testudo donation during final exams week than anything else. Don't you all agree? If so, send me a reaction. So this woman just like asked me like, what's up with the shirt? Like, does it mean something or something? I was like, no, I just got it at a yard sale. I thought it'd be really cool. She was like, that's cool. I didn't know if it had a story with it. And I was like, yeah. And then she was walking out and she was like, stay cool, stay original, be original. And I was like, thank you, guys. Like, that's what I try to do. I just like to be different, I like to stand out. Not necessarily so I get attention, but just so that I'm, like, different. Like, I don't want to be part of, like, the in crowd. I don't want to be, like, assimilated into all of society. Oh, and also, I'll do the key takeaways of Detroit tomorrow. Today, really, I wouldn't be able to tell you what's the best to do until tomorrow. So, catch y'all tomorrow. See ya. And one other thing I want to say, they are so much more old school and proper here in Detroit, because every time I walk into McDonald's, they go, good morning, or good afternoon, welcome to McDonald's. My mom told me when she used to work at McDonald's, they would always say, welcome to McDonald's. And this is the only place I've ever caught them doing it. I think it's really good. And surprising that it's here.